Yeah. Try it. So how's your evening going, Chris?
Good, good, good. This is weird though
Yeah.
because I'm sitting in the same spot I sat when I was teaching manufacturing class from home.
Oh,
And
geez.
yeah, that's I'm like, oh, yuck. Imagine teaching shop
Well, this will be a.
from your kitchen table.
I'm hoping this will be more fun,
It couldn't be
but we'll
worse.
see.
Hey
You
guys,
got him.
sorry.
All back,
Yeah, I
Justin.
got him. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Hello, Mr.
Oh,
Priester.
how are you?
I'm
I'm
doing
only
all right.
Mr. Priester during my day job. I'm not Mr. Priester now.
Okay.
Oh,
No, I couldn't see it before. It just said loading, and I'm like, I hate technology.
yeah.
We all do.
I told Chris, I said this is creepy. Teaching during COVID. And I was sitting in the same spot I sat when I taught. I teach shop, and I was teaching from my kitchen table. And yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I guess you probably prefer in class over definitely video.
I'm still waiting for them to tell me how to teach shop class at home.
Well, that's
Yeah.
when yeah, because you're a welding teacher too, right?
Welding and machine shop, yes.
Well, that's when you just tell them, hey kids, make sure you have a welder at home, and then this is how I want you to do your
The
weld.
crazy part was we weren't allowed to have them do anything because we were liable if they injured themselves. Glue some popsicle sticks together, make a bridge. Nope, can't do it.
Oh
What if
god.
they burn themselves on the hot glue gun? Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Oh my god. Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
That is insane.
I'm glad I lived through it, and I stayed teaching, and yeah.
Fantastic. So, welcome to the show, Chris. It's this is I'm Chris Lafleur. You know me. We've met many times. Justin is one of the other hosts here on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And you're welcome. And thanks for being on. So, Chris Priester, I think you have about 40 plus years experience in archery. So I think we're going to learn a little bit from you today.
Yeah, it'll be I got a bow for my 13th birthday, and I will be 59 this year. So
oh, wow.
yeah, coming up on
Very
46
nice.
years. And I think I've competed, I want to say, for every one of those years, pretty close anyways.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So how did you first get into it?
Ooh, long time ago, my buddy Brad asked if I wanted to go shoot archery with them at their club, and they have a Popinjay club. Now, I'm positive neither of you have ever heard of Popinjay, and it's
Nope.
a 1-inch diameter plastic Delrin tip that goes on your arrow, and you shoot at. It's similar to what they do at Hubertus Club for Oktoberfest, and you have to knock these birds off the perch, and they're stuck on to tapered pegs. And if you hit the bird, the little bird, you get 1 point. If you hit the high bird, you get, I think it was 10 points, and 5 points for the collar birds, and the side birds were. So you had to shoot these, but you shot fingers, no sights, and yeah, and you shot compound, you shot recurve, whatever you felt like. It was basically a reason to go drinking with the guys. When I was 13, I wasn't, but and you go drinking with the guys and
16
hang
at
out and shoot
least.
some archery. And you shoot like one arrow every 20 minutes.
All right, man.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's I don't know any place that does it anymore, but yeah, it used to be reasonably popular.
Oh, maybe we can bring that to Rural City. We'd have to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, well, what's kept you in for 40 years?
Wow. People, for sure, the people. Most of my good friends are archers, are hunters, are target shooters, just me even plain acquaintances that I met while shooting. So definitely the people in archery. It's a different game, and when I tell people that, they have a hard time understanding what I'm talking about. I remember years ago, probably pushing 20 years ago, at a provincial 3D championships, the two top guys, the one top guy broke a string on his bow, broke the string actually broke on his bow, and um, the other top shooter loaned him his bow, and he ended up beating him. And I want to say
Wow.
that the person that loaned it was Carl Jones. I can't guarantee that's who it was, but it was Yeah, and Carl's been at it a long time also. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was Carl or Terry or one of those guys, but way back in the day. And that doesn't happen in other sports. Nobody's loaning you their spare race car
Mhm.
No.
or their other baseball glove to finish the game off. It's just it's great that way. And there's been so many good people and over the years.
Oh, right on. Yeah, like so obviously over the decades there's been some changes in equipment. Like
Yeah.
what was the first bow you started with?
My first
And then
bow was a Ben Pearson spoiler. So they made a spider and a spoiler. My dogs just came in. And they made a spider and a spoiler, and the spoiler had metal hanging brackets. So the brackets hung down, and then the wheel sat in between it, and it bolted to the limb. And it was a little slower. Steel cables, Dacron string, teardrops, the whole 9 yards. And there wasn't many compound bows available in Canada at the time, to be honest. And my parents had gone to visit relatives in Michigan, and they ended up buying this bow and bringing it back, and a dozen or a half dozen arrows. I don't remember at this point, but I do remember there were two whites and one red fletch because we're Canadians. And 46 years later, I'm still shooting two whites and one red fletch
that's
most of the
true.
time.
That's true.
So yeah,
And
I just got
what do you
into it
shoot?
and just fell in love with it.
Yeah, what are you shooting now?
Um, I shoot a Gen 1 Reckoning is my main target bow. Um, and and it's been good. I really like it. I also shoot my hunting bow is kind of funny because I carry my hunting bow more than I shoot it. I have an Infinite Edge Pro. That's my hunting bow.
Oh yeah.
The super light, small bow. It's like carrying a slingshot, I say. I feel like it's just a slingshot, and it's amazingly accurate for the small bullets. This is not very fast. It's there's nothing real high tech about it, but that's what I use for hunting. But my main bow for target is my Reckoning. I also have a Fanatic. I have an older Fanatic too. That's a real good shooter too.
All right on. Yeah, I recommended that bow to my daughter's boyfriend.
Oh yeah,
The Infinite Edge. It is a great bow. I shot it. I've shot it a couple of times, and I was surprised.
yeah.
Looking at it, the
They're both
technology
fun to
obviously
shoot,
is.
and I've been messing around with my Reckoning a little bit. I'm going to increase the holding weight on it considerably. I have an old bow that was my go-to for a long, long time, and whenever I'm having a challenge shooting when it's not going the way I think it should, or I'm like, I should be shooting better than this. And there's no kidding, my best days are well behind me, but I'm like something's not right. I have an old Darton Maverick, a 1996 Darton Maverick, no, 99 Darton Maverick, and it has millions of arrows. I don't know what it is, so I'll just get it out and I'll start shooting it. I'm like, oh, that's what's different. I've increased the let off on my new bow. I'm going to change that, or the draw length is different, or whatever it is, and it's just that bow that shoots for me, and I still have it. I know it's worth absolutely nothing to anyone else, so I still shoot it around and have some fun with it. But yeah, my Reckoning is my main one
And so you would have started shooting with fingers, right?
for sure.
With
Yeah,
compound,
my
and then
I believe it was
when did
42.
releases come in?
When did releases come in?
Okay.
They
Yeah,
were
because
available then, but just nobody shot them. Most
okay.
people, a lot of the compound bows were recurve bows kind of converted. Browning
Hmm.
Medalist was one, for instance. It was all wood, and it was just a recurve bow, and they just put wheels, they put cams on it. And back then it was 30 to 50% let off. So, um, yeah, just they were mainly it was brand new. I had a Browning back in the day, Explorer, and just a bunch of different bows, but um, they've really changed a lot, like so much um, over the years. It's amazing. If the people back then had the bows that they have now, uh, the accuracy that they're built to, the tolerance that they're built to, is just amazing. As a machinist, I see some of the stuff that they do, and I'm like, that's a good move. That's a smart move. So,
That's right. Yeah. So you are right now you're a shop teacher, but you were a
yep,
machinist.
yep.
Yeah.
Licensed machinist, did it for quite a few years, and I worked at the bow shop at Shooter's Choice in Waterloo for 3 or 4 years and enjoyed that, and glad I did, and moved on from there. And I still do archery lessons there, and You know, I help them out whenever they need a hand or shows or stuff like that. But yeah, ended
No,
up with this teaching gig, and I quite like it.
that's
So,
good.
so shooting with your, what do you? So you've shot with your fingers for quite a few years, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Um, what do you prefer more, like shooting with your fingers or shooting with a release aid?
absolutely release aid. But I'm glad I learned shooting fingers. I'm a bit of a fan of crawl, walk, run when you're learning something. Um, I see people, I see a lot of people these days that buy a fully rigged Bowtech, Hoyt, Matthews, whatever, with all the bells and whistles on it, and they just start shooting. And they didn't really learn anything. Excuse me. Um, when you start shooting with fingers, you notice every little detail makes a huge difference. And you might not know what it is, but this round was better than last round was better than this round. And if you pay attention or you have someone that can help you, they can tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and it really makes it better. To this day, when I buy a new bow, I don't put a peep sight on it. I shoot it for a few hundred arrows minimum, possibly 1,000 arrows with no peep sight, because I just want to see how everything feels, and you know, at what draw length is it comfortable on my face, or is my peep sight comfortable to where how I'm holding my head. And I don't want to you don't want to add anything to your form when you're shooting. You want it to be as stand there as natural as you can. So I don't put a peep sight on at the start. I just shoot my bow, and I just shoot it indoors, and I just get comfortable where it's, the ground is level and there's no wind, there's no bugs, there's no sun, there's no excuses. And I just shoot. And then once I start my groups are where I want, then I'll put a peep sight in, and I adjust it to where I'm shooting. Now, and of course you end up a little bit to the right, the right or left, doesn't matter, because you're looking down the edge of the string instead of the middle of the string, but it's minuscule. So that way you know that you haven't changed your form to fit the bow. You've changed the bow to
That's
fit
actually
your
really
form.
cool. That's, I,
I'm taking my peep sight out tomorrow.
no, that's actually really cool. I've never even thought about
I,
even doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, it makes total sense because I notice so if you don't tie your peep sight in tight, it starts to go down and it changes my form. I start to go like this instead of going, wait a minute, why am I bending my neck? Why don't I just push my peep sight back up
And
or
it's
what
just a
have you,
little
right?
bit.
And
It's not a lot that you might even
yeah,
not feel it. I'm sure Valerie looks at it and go, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "What do you mean? What am I doing?" Well, you're all crunched over. You're all scrunched up, and like, "No, I'm not." And then, "Oh yes, yes, I am." So, it's a great way to set up a bow to just get it comfortable to fit you. It's
that's actually very cool. If if when I get another boat eventually, uh, I'll actually try that
you'll be surprised how
just
good an
to.
anchor you get. Um, and when I set my peep, so if I for indoors you set it for 20, it's no biggie. But if I'm shooting field, um, I'll try and set my peep height so that it's really good at 50. So that when I'm at 20, it's a little tight on my face, and it's not as comfortable as it could be. But 50 is the harder target, so I want it to be perfect there. And then when you get to 80, it's a little bit sloppy on your face. So 70 and 80, it's a little bit sloppy, but it's way better than if you set your peep height for your sight at 20. So I like to do that.
right, because you're starting to crawl
Yep.
up your face to get
Yeah. And it's no biggie if you got to
yeah.
get crunched in a little tighter at 10, 20, 30 yards, but it's a pretty big deal when your hand's just sitting out in the air at 60 or 70 and you're like, I have nothing.
So I'm gonna get you to convince that guy over there to start shooting field. These guys all hate paper, and I'm trying to convince them. It doesn't lie to you. It
I
doesn't lie to you.
I'm not a fan of paper. I find I know archery is all repetitive. I get that, okay?
But
If
you
I
haven't shot field
I
yet.
know why it
No, I
is.
haven't,
I know why it is.
and I wanna
I started off shooting paper indoors, and then field targets outdoors, and then animal faces outdoors. So field is where 3D started. So a field course, and everybody, field is the stupidest name for the field archery that there is. Field is in the bush, just like a 3D course. And it targets are from 20 feet to 80 yards. And then eventually, people get tired of shooting or they want something new. So they started making full-size paper targets. Then they would put these paper animal targets, raccoons, deer, bear, all types of stuff. And IFAA and NFA still uses that type of target. And they put them on the butts, and then they have scoring rings in light gray, and then you shoot them. Today's modern ones have an orange dot or a red dot on them, but back in the day, they were just a scoring outline. And if you hit the animal, you got 5 points. If you hit it's no different, the 5 or the 10, you get higher points. And that's kind of how it all started, how 3D started out. And then somebody decided they could make some rubber deer and other critters, and boom, it's taken off from there. The problem with field for a lot of people, or paper targets for a lot of people, is there's zero excuses. And I've said this all along. I think 3D is one of the hardest sports to shoot. It really is, because you got to have your crap together every 15 minutes for one arrow. Field, you got to have your crap together for 4 arrows every 10 or 15 minutes. So it goes much faster. You shoot a lot more arrows, but it's very doable because you only shoot 4 arrows. Then everybody walks up, you score them, just no different than 3D. But the problem is there's zero excuses. And we've all shot in that group. You know what I'm going to say next, Chris. We've all shot in that group where, buddy shoots one and it's way off. And he's like, oh, I thought that's where the 10 ring was or the 12 ring was. No, you didn't. You punched the trigger. We watched you punch the trigger, or you flinched or whatever. But field, there is no excuse. The distance is measured with a tape measure, not even with a rangefinder. And you're welcome to use a rangefinder in IFAA or NFAA field. You just can't in World Archery field. But you're welcome to use a rangefinder. The distance is the distance, and you're allowed 6 inches tolerance. And the target is round with a white dot or white and black with a black dot. And there's just no excuse. It's there it is. Shoot it. The thing I really like about field is you get to shoot a lot of arrows, because I won't drive to the club to shoot 40 arrows, let alone drive 4 hours away to shoot 40 arrows. I'm just not my thing. I'll drive 4 hours away. I drive 8 hours away to like Mechanicsburg to shoot 112 arrows a day for 3 days in a row. I like that. And even indoors, right? You shoot 60 arrows in just a few hours, just a couple hours. It's boring.
Mhm.
And I heard Valerie the other day. She's like, if I could get these guys from Royal City and other 3D guys to come out and shoot some paper, it will improve your game. And field, even much more. You'll learn more about your shooting in a day of field, I think, than in a season of 3D, because there's the distance, there's a target, there's what it is. There's no excuses. Shoot it. Oh, your first one's low. Shoot it again. Oh, that one's low too. Oh, maybe my 50 mark isn't as good as I thought it was, or my 35 yard, or whatever it is. Put a couple more clicks in. Okay, you drop 2 more in the middle. And those ones that are just slightly out, or you don't think your sight tape's perfect, or you thought your sight tape was perfect, but now you're finding out it isn't, is a different thing. And I know the real good shooters don't generally sight in on paper targets on bullseyes. They sight in on the animals. They sight in on, a circle drawn on a foam so that they have something to think about. Just it's a mental thing. But there is so much to be learned from shooting, especially field archery. Outdoor target, I can't do it. It bores me. It's just not my thing. It's amazing to watch. I love watching the guys and gals doing it. I don't want to stand out in the sun. The same reason I don't want to go golfing. I don't want to stand out in the sun. I don't want to melt my brain. I don't want to fight the wind for hours. So I'd rather be in the
That's
bush. The
fair.
bush is my happy place.
Yeah, me
So,
too. I agree
well,
with
Justin,
that.
you got to come out.
I know.
Hey, Justin, here's the deal. First field shoot you come to, I'll pay for it. I'll buy
When's the next field shoot?
field shoot. Well, Paladin, York County. York County. Have you ever shot 3D at York County?
No.
You'd really enjoy it. It's a lot of terrain there, up and down. You're exhausted at the end of the day. Archers in Muskoka, same thing. There, you probably shot there. That's got a great World Archery field course on it right now, and I hope they do a IFAA one also. Yeah, first round, I'll pay for your entrance fees.
Okay.
Very nice.
I'll hold you to that
I'm
for
in.
sure, man.
Yeah.
I want to try field.
We also know
I
there's
think
only so many
field-
weekends available, right? So you only have so much
I
free
don't-
time. Everybody has so much free time.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't work weekends, so.
Perfect. Perfect.
But no, yeah, no, I would love to try field archery. we'll drag Chris and Val out there too.
Absolutely.
Oh, you don't have to drag me.
You know,
I don't have to. You don't have to drag me. I
No.
love. I'd love shooting 4 arrows at a time.
yes.
I
I
would
gotta
love to
get
do
more
that.
arrows. I gotta get more
And you're
arrows.
shooting
Oh,
at big
you need
targets, right?
6.
It's not like you're going to miss them or
Yeah.
the yardage is off or, there it is. Set your sight, double check it, shoot it. And you're not
That's
shooting at
fair.
a skinny, Coca-Cola bear at 41 yards or, it might be small target, but there's a giant target buttress around it. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nice.
No, that's
So,
sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So yeah. Sorry. I know we're getting a little into field here. We
You
could
knew I was
probably
going to
talk
go
about this
there.
for the rest of the. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I wanted you to go there. Actually, I'm trying to convince these guys at field. So we're looking to build a small field course at Rural City ourselves. So something with about 7 targets for now.
You could do it with
slowly.
7 and just,
Yeah.
the long targets are this spot, the shorter. They used to have a round they called a park round where you could do it on a flat in a park. And they kind of just shot
Okay.
out in a circle away, and then everybody went and pulled their arrows at the same time. That
Right
these
on.
haven't been around for decades, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So getting back to shooting, and I know you mentioned you still shoot tournaments. What, like, out of your 40 years of memories, if you will, what's something that really stands out in your sort of your tournament experience or your competition experience?
The thing I told you about before when the guy loaned his backup bow to the other shooter, that one sticks in my head for a very long time. And there's been a couple things. We used to go to Lancaster quite often. And back in the days when the Lancaster shoot was at the store and at the shooting center on the property. I went 1 year when it went to the larger venue, which is the only year I ever made the cut, and I just didn't enjoy it. It lost its personality. It lost a bunch of stuff. At the Lancaster shoot, when it was at the store, Carbon Express used to put on a meal for all the archers. I remember we all got our food. We just used kind of buffet style. And Nathan Brooks and 2 or 3 of the guys, Nathan Brooks, elite shooter, and 2 or 3 of the guys from Lancaster started jamming. And they just picked up the guitar. One guy played some sort of interesting guitar. I don't remember what it's called. And to this day, I remember Nathan Brooks singing Leonard Skinner's Simple Man. And it was like, I was just sitting up front and it was, everybody was just mingling around inside the store. And these guys were all just jamming and they just met that afternoon and they thought, let's play some music at the dinner tonight. That's one of the things that sticks out in my head. But there's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of, I remember so many people taking them to their first field shoot. We talked about Gilles was shooting bow hunter class, my buddy Gilles, and we went to a field shoot at Lambton, Kent, and we got to the 80-yard target. He's like, I don't know what to do here. I'm like, well, because he only had a 60-yard pin. I'm like, put your 60 on the center of it, look up where your 40 is, move your 60 up to the 40 and cut her loose. And he shoots an X, and he did the same thing for the next one, shoots an X, then a 60-yarder, because he shoots 80, 70, 60, 50. And for the third arrow, he had a 60 pin, he shot an X. And then the fourth arrow, he shot a 5, which is still a top score, and he shot it perfect. And he's like, well, that's not so hard. And then he said, I don't remember how long it took him to do it again. He said, it was like forever. There's so many of my core memories come from shooting with people, going to Mechanicsburg the first time. They have more field archery courses there than Canada has field archery courses. They have 528 target courses there. So just there's so many stuff like that. I remember, years ago going to the Archer's Nook when it was in George's backyard, in his garage in his backyard. Like if you've ever been to the Archer's Nook in London, like it's been around for 50 plus years, I would say. Just on and stuff like that. Working at the bow shop, I still see people when I'm in there. They, hey, how you doing? I have no idea who they are. It's been 30, 29 years since I worked there. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's always the people.
Yeah, it's funny. I have the same experience. I was so surprised by this community when Valley and I first started shooting, and you always have the 1 or 2 people that are. I think it's a quote. I can't remember who it's from, but out of if you got 100 people, there's going to be at least one that's an asshole, right? So,
It's my 80-10-10
uh,
rule. 80% of the people you meet are awesome, 10% are clueless, 10% are a-holes. And it doesn't matter
yeah.
where you are.
So
Yes.
exactly, and it doesn't matter what you do, but I find in archery, they're few and far between. So, and it's what's gotten me to stick to the sport because I struggle with it a lot. Target panic, all the things everyone struggles with. I'm not the greatest shooter, I'm an average shooter at best. But I just love the people. Like I'll go to the shop sometimes and I'll just talk to whoever, right? Whoever's there, and if they recognize me or I recognize them, and I think that's what's kept me around for so long. And yeah, like and the different tournaments and so on. I know I don't want to talk too much about myself, but running Royal City is really. I used to be a very shy person, so what I did was I took on the membership role at Royal City because I wanted to overcome that, right? And learn how to talk to people, learn how to be a little more open and friendly, and it really helped me do that because I'd have to walk people around, don't over that, and so archery's given me a lot more than I could ever have wished for, if that makes any
Yep.
sense. So, yeah, and the communities. So, and getting to that, like just the generosity and the I want to take us to because I think I only started shooting it maybe 2 years ago, but the breast cancer shoot. How did that get started?
Wow. That started off in 2006. It was 10 of us got together. We shot 3 tournaments. I want to say York County, the Bow Shop, and the Archer's Nook. And I think 10 of us completed. So just basically 10 of us. We each had to pay $20 a piece to shoot it. And it was like Dave McQuaker was one of the guys then, and he was the rep for Victory Archery Arrows, and they had these pink arrows, so we had these pink arrows, and we got together, we shot a bunch, we talked some smack, we went out for supper after the last shoot, we raised $200, and we at the time we used to donate to CIBC Run for a Cure. We needed somewhere for it to go, and
Hmm.
whatever. And then the following year, Jill again, a lady that he worked with, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And out of the blue, Jill says to me, no, this is pretty serious. Like she found out, Monday, and surgery was Friday, kind of thing. Like, we got to get at this right away. He said, "What do you think? You think we can make this a little bit bigger?" I said, "I don't know. I'll talk to them at the shop." So, of course, I know the owners of Shooter's Choice, and I talked to them like, "Hey, can we get the range? Can we get the seminar room?" And they're like, "Yeah, absolutely, no problem." I don't even remember what we did for food back then. I want to say we ordered in. So we had um, one of the local caterers brought supplied food, and so that was great. The $200 turned to $5,000 one-day tournament. We had donated
Wow.
$5,000, and it grew
That's
from
a lot of
there, and
money.
it just kept growing and growing. With people from Shooter's Choice that would shake down manufacturers and shake down suppliers. Like Sanders has been fantastic at that, and before him it was Mike, and they would shake down suppliers. Say, here's what we're doing. Da da da. I won't lie, that's getting a lot harder to do. A lot harder. It wasn't for
Mm,
the extreme generosity of Vortex, like we would have not as many prizes, not as many high quality prizes, and the support that they put out
hmm.
there. I'm not Vortex sponsored at all, but to watch what they do is amazing, and a lot of it is Neil, because when he was with the other company, when he was with Nikon, same thing. He made sure that his budget got used for the donations and stuff. He used it up. So it started off like that, and it grew from there. And I believe the most we've ever done is just over $16,000. So we decided to turn it
Wow.
into. It's always a one day. It's always just a Saturday.
Hmm.
That's enough for us. But things have really grown. We took over the gun range quite a few years ago, and back at the time, OAA, the Ontario Association of Archery, which is Archery Ontario now, used to donate target stands and target butts, and we would put them up in the gun range. Since then, we've got our own Warthog targets and the other stands that we have that are much more sturdy. So we have a shooting line in, upstairs in the shop, downstairs in the shop. it was so busy we had to add a Friday night. And the Friday night, oftentimes people that don't like to shoot in crowds or they don't want to compete, but they just want to come out and support, they'll come out. We have a group from Woodstock that shows up, the MPs and their crew. They'll come out and bring a bunch of money and they shoot their crossbows. They might not shoot all
Yeah.
60 arrows. We don't care. They come out and have a good time. Everybody likes to dress up in pink, and it's quite interesting that it's grown to where it is. And we've had our up years and our down years, but we just decided years ago when it turned into just Rachel, Andrew, and I. Um, I remember talking to Ray the one time. Ray is Rachel, and she's like, "I don't know if we got many prizes." I'm like, "The shoot will go on. We'll come up with something. We'll just have the people will be here. They're not here for prizes. They're here to enjoy and
Nice.
raffles and stuff like that." And prizes fell out of the woodwork. We don't know. We're like, how did this happen? I don't know. And we just get looked after. And that's the other beauty of the archery community. I've had, you know, individuals donate stuff like Andy Craig has, donated pink knives for as long as anyone can remember.
Yeah.
And, just people, I've had people, they maybe regift it, but they've won, you know, a hunting knife somewhere else. And they're like, okay, we'll donate it here and they can use it there, or donate it or raffle it or auction it or silent auction it or whatever we want. And yeah, it's our favorite day of the year. Exhausting. It is, it's a one and done thing, but it's so fulfilling. And since we've hooked up with Grand River Hospital as our who we donate to, it is so much
Hmm.
easier. They look after all the paperwork. They look
Wow.
after um, absolutely everything. We just collect the money, we give it to them. They hook us up. We have our own button on their page. It's now Waterloo Health Network. They changed the names a little bit. It's not Grand River Hospital Foundation anymore, but it's Waterloo Health Network Foundation, I believe. And we have our own button on the page, a shoot for a cure button. You go to it, you press it, you can donate whatever you want. So that has made it easy. And my ultimate goal, my ultimate challenge would be to have other places in the province do the same thing. They don't need to do it for us. We don't need it.
Hmm.
Of course, we'll take it, but I would like see someone in Kingston. You get that, Jason? Or not Jason. Sorry. Um, Someone in Kingston
Yeah.
to set one up and do it through their hospital, or Sault Ste. Marie, or Windsor, or Ottawa, or wherever they want. Once you hook up with a hospital foundation, they make it so easy and they make it so much less work. We also don't pay anything for our range. Dan and Donna Geacock that own Shooter's Choice, they donate the range, they donate the seminar room, they donate the rifle range, or the shotgun and handgun range downstairs. So we get all of that used for free. So that makes a huge difference. And then we got Sean Rutherford that owns Wild Boar food truck in Waterloo, and he also works at the shop in the wintertime. Um, he prepares all of our food for us. He doesn't charge us anything other than just the cost. Here's my groceries, and we pay for the macaroni and the cheese, the
That's awesome.
coleslaw, what have you, the barbecue sauce, and then Rachel works at Cargill in Guelph, and they donate the meat to us. So when you get all that stuff, and you know we sell it pretty reasonable. I think lunch is $10.
Hmm.
We probably make 9.50 on that $10 lunch, and that's huge.
Yeah.
That goes a long ways in the coffer, in the general coffers. And we've had the good people at Grand River Hospital, Zoe and Trevor and the rest of them. They're like, "Can you teach other people how to raise funds? Because we have people that spend 50,000 and they make 60,000, right? Like, okay, they did all that work and they got
Yeah.
$10,000, which is awesome. But it's I said I can't we can't. It's not archery. If it was archery, possibly even guns, that's community is a different thing. But
Yeah.
it happens really well. And we're pretty proud. We have a door frame at the Waterloo Wellington Breast Center. That's Canadian Archery for a cause. So they did up a door frame so that
Wow.
when the people are going in there for for ultrasound or for mammography, it depends on which room they end up in. Um, they see our door and us, and I believe it's Gina Spa, are the only two that have door frames in there. And it's pretty cool to see that. We got a big tour of the place, and it's just, I've had friends say, "Hey, I saw your door today." And I'm like, "Oh, everything going okay?" And so it just starts a conversation. I'm a little bit
That is really
I'm a
Yeah,
little
cool.
bit passionate about it.
no,
Good.
that's that way. You know, like it's actually has been one of the reasons I was excited to have you on is I really wanted to talk about this event because it's something special. You know what I mean? It is something really, it's again, it's when we talk about the archery community, we're reaching out to other communities as well, and you guys raise a lot of money for breast cancer, and it's something,
And it
I guess,
act
like for you, like what is that? Like, what does that mean to you personally? Like, how does you know what I mean? Like
You're gonna
when
make
you
me
started,
cry,
like
but
what?
that's okay. I'm not afraid to
Yeah,
cry in public.
that's all right.
Um, Interestingly enough, for years we ran the shoot. I never met anyone close to me that had breast cancer. We had lots of people that came up. We had a lady who started shooting archery years ago, double mastectomy, and one of the things for rehab was shooting archery because you're using your chest muscles and you're stretching things out again. So that was how she got into it. Um, and
Wow.
then fast forward to 4 years ago, our good friend um, was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent radiation and chemo, the whole 9 yards. Um, and we got to have Ashley speak at our shoot. Believe I want to say 3 years ago, and that was awesome. And it was just wow, we have somebody you know that we know, and of course we've over the years we've had lots of people that my sister, my mother, my wife, whatever. And then 2 years ago, and again this is year 18 we've been at it. My wife was diagnosed with breast cancer and had to have the all the procedures on that, and that made it hit home even more. Keep it together. Um, but what we really do it for is we do it for the young people. We do it for the young women, and it's mainly women, um, so that hopefully someday they won't ever have to go through that. Or if they do, they have the technology. We've helped donate mammography machines and ultrasound machines and things like that, detection machines. And hopefully someday, if they ever have to go through that, they'll have the technology that they need to to have it scanned and have everything looked after and the treatments that are available. So yeah, it means a lot to me. It's always has meant a lot to me. And as
Hmm.
it's commonly known as the boob shoot, the girls started that, not us. And um and it hits home. And we everybody's going to know somebody that has cancer of some sort, and whether it's breast cancer or whatever it is. And yeah, it's always hit home, and now it's even more with my wife, and she's been great ever since, and they looked after her really well, and at
That's
the Grand
awesome.
River Hospital and the other facilities.
Yeah, it's kind of like full circle for you
Yeah,
then, because yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
I
But I guess go ahead, Justin.
sorry, I like the boob shoot because the money goes where it's supposed to go,
To the community.
right? Yeah,
Yes,
yes, that's right. Well, I like my wife also has breast cancer. So everything you guys do hits home.
yes.
So the money that you guys donate actually goes to where it's supposed to go.
Yeah,
It's not
you're
everyone's
not
taking
paying
a
some dude. Yeah,
not everyone's taking a cut. So you out of a dollar, 10 cents goes to where it's supposed to go, right? Like that's not I agree with what you guys are doing. That's why I love shooting your event.
Well, I'm glad you suck it up and shoot paper for that one day.
I do suck up and shoot paper, right? Well, you got to, right?
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely, and it's a good time. It's just a good time, and it's easy going. And we've had world champions shoot there.
mhm.
We've had Dietmar. We've had Chris Perkins shoot there in the past. I've had a blind guy that I was doing lessons with. He shot it. We've had guys and gals in wheelchairs, like able-bodied, non-able-bodied. And when you see people come together, um, last year Daniela gave up her spot. I don't know the girl's name that she gave it up for. She gave up her spot. She said, "I've done this lots of times. I want her to be in the shoot up." So she gave up her spot for somebody else. Like, that's that's unheard of
yeah,
in most sports. And you
yeah.
know, in archery, it's no one was surprised.
And she's a real sweetheart too. Like, let's be honest,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Now they know what it's for, and why we do it. And
Yeah.
we've done crazy stuff. If you know Andrew Westby, he used to have long hair,
Yep.
like long hair. He
Okay.
cut it off. We had a bounty on his hair, and we raised, I forget how much we raised just cutting his hair off, but it was several $1,000s. And yeah, he went from long hair to as Rachel says, look like Bull from Night Court. Yeah. That was a
We
good.
are dating ourselves here.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So
I don't know if Justin knows who Bull from Night Court is, so you'll have to Google
you'll have
that
to
one.
Google that one. It looks just like Andrew.
So just let's take it on a different note, because you also coach a lot of people, right? You do coach compound archery. What was I going to ask about that? Sorry, I lost
That's
my train
okay.
of thought there.
I do more lessons and helping people get going than
Yes.
coaching. I'm not going to take on, an 18-year-old that, wants to become a professional archer. I don't have the time, right? As Justin probably knows, when you have a wife that's gone through what ours have gone through or going through, family time is a little more important. And gone are the days, my kids are all older, they don't need me around much, but I like to spend weekends and Friday nights with my family, with my wife, or if my kids are around or whatever. And so I do lessons, and it's basically to get people
Yeah.
on the right track. That wasn't available when I was starting. If you had target panic, well, suck it up. They would the guys in the old club would whip you in the back of the leg every time you flinched with an arrow. Um, that might work still, but I think target panic is a reasonably easy fix. Um, but it's kind of like quitting smoking. When you figure out what it is, you figure out what it is, and away you go. Um, but it's I believe it's more form than brain, but that's me. I had to cure myself of it, and I had it bad, really bad.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, maybe sometime we gotta have you and Valerie debate that one, because she thinks it's more mental than it is form. So she says my target panic definitely is the mental.
If
I don't know.
so, the mental part of it is you're not thinking about what you're supposed to be thinking about. Right? So, and if you're thinking about what you're supposed to be thinking about, you will have much better form because that's what you're thinking about. What am I doing? Am I pulling through? Am I pushing away? Is my hand on my
Mm,
face? You know, everything's comfortable. Everything looks good. Oh, there goes the arrow. Oh, it went in the middle. Cool. And if you can get that routine, and everybody's routine is different, and I do that with my lessons. Like if I have somebody that's been shooting for a little bit, I had a gentleman tonight. He shot a little bit, and I said, "Just shoot some arrows, and I'll watch, and we'll add to or subtract from it." And he did, and we went through it. I'm like, "Okay, couple little things that is going to help you out." And he's like, "Wow, like how?" I'm like, "Well, your trigger's too long. It's too far away from your finger. Let's move it up closer so you can get on there and get comfortable with it." And I was at a friend's club yesterday, and there's 5 of them, I guess. And they just said, "Can you come out and, watch what we're doing, see if there's any little stuff that we can fix?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So we all had a great time. And yeah, we went out, and there wasn't available when I started. There just wasn't. There was good shooters and not good shooters, and the good shooters were just naturally talented, and the not good shooters, were just trying to figure it out on their own. And no one, it's not that they wouldn't share, is that they were just moving along and shooting their stuff. They didn't know what to share.
yeah. I think you still get a lot of that, actually. I have running the club. I see a lot of people that come in because it looks like it should be easy, if that makes
It is
sense.
easy.
Should just pull. Yeah, yeah.
Shooting's easy
Fair,
and aiming's easy.
fair.
Together, they're really hard. If you ever just pull your bow and aim, it's
Exactly.
dead easy. Like it couldn't be easier. And ever just shoot your bow with your eyes
Exactly.
closed, it's easy peasy. Put them together, man.
So yeah, I watch guys that come out. They don't want to hear what you got to say. They just want to shoot, and that's fine. And they never get better. And then but they're having fun, and that's for some people that's okay. For me, it's not. I know I was I'm always trying to attain perfection, right? I do that at everything I do, like whether it's work, whether it's archery, when I play guitar, whatever it is, or when I shoot rifles, and when I all those things. I'm always trying to attain perfection, and I know in this sport, I think that's what drives me the craziest. Is it's so hard to even get close to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I watch the pros on TV, and I'm like, man, oh man, I just wish I could just get that form right, or get that, or whatever. It's just something that there's just something I'm missing in my shot, and one day I'll figure it
Well,
out.
some
Maybe I'll,
some of it's plain old God-given talent, and some of it's crazy hard work, and some of it's a combination of both, right? We all have to work our regular job, so we don't have our job isn't shooting our bow. And you watch the guys that have been doing it for years and years and years. Some of them will shoot 8, 10 hours a day. I remember years ago I called Dietmar, and I'm like, and he didn't answer. I'm like, okay. And it was pouring rain. It was a crappy day. He called me back later. He says, "What's up?" I'm like, what's going on?" He's, "Oh, shooting my bow." It's pouring rain. He's like, "Yeah, it's my job." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Well, if I'm at a tournament and it's pouring rain, I need to know what it's like." So we went out
that's
in
fair.
crappy
Yeah,
weather, cold and rainy, and shot. Okay, I don't have that commitment. That's no, no, no. Um, and I don't know if I ever did have that much commitment, but it's such a good sport.
yeah. So on all those notes, on that note, typically the whole point of the show, or the reason why it's called the letdown, is sort of your, maybe not your worst moment in archery, but a memorable bad moment in archery, and how you overcame that is typically how we like to end the show with somebody. It's just something to, so people can walk away with something, when they're. I know, like Valerie's was when she punched herself in the face twice at the same tournament,
Like Halligan,
and
right?
what she walked away with. Yeah, right. Is and then Daniela Webb actually she helped her with the release, helped her get calmed down, and got her back to on the shooting line. So
First of
that
all,
that
if you
type of
Google
moment.
the letdown, I thought we were going to talk about lactating and breastfeeding tonight, but apparently we did not. So that's a good thing because I know nothing about, very little about that. Um, because that's what you like to, would you Google it? Um, Kind of worst days for me. The good news is I'm getting older and my memory's going, so I don't remember a lot of the really, really bad days. Um, Most of them I laugh off because the truth of it is it's just archery, right? It's just archery. Not many people make a living at it. Not many people have to take it serious that everything matters. I've had lots of times where I've set my sight wrong because I like to talk, as you can probably guess. And I remember being at Mechanicsburg and shot the 15-yard target, then walk up past the clubhouse and shot the 65-yard target. And then the next target was a 15, talking, didn't set my sight, shot it right above it, or like missed the bail completely. And one of the guys in my group says, "Oh, that's a pass through." And I'm like, "Yeah, that was a pass through between the top of the bail and the roof of the butt." Um, that's that was bad. Well, one of the ones I remember years ago, it wasn't me, it was a fellow archer, and he was the best we had in our area at the time. It's very, very good. And his release fired on his first arrow, and he shot a 0 on a 5-spot target. So it's out of 360 X's. He shot 59 X's that day.
Mm,
He could have went home.
wow.
He could have went
Yeah.
home. He shot 59
Mm,
X's. And the lesson I take from that is if you have the opportunity, don't leave on a bad note. I mean, don't beat yourself to death. Don't, beat yourself up and try and make, you have a good day. But if you're having a rough day, like, let's figure it out. Let's move along. And he knew what he was capable of shooting. He just had a failure on that very first arrow, shot a 0, and shot all the rest of them into the big X on a 5-spot target. And that has stuck with me for a very long time. That it's, you know, that that makes, like, he just stuck with it. He had nothing planned for the day. He could have went home mad. Nope, he shot it out. And I heard Val talking about with winning in mind. Um, I have owned that book 30 years, maybe more. I don't know. As long as it's been out, I've owned that book and that audio tapes. And there's a lot of stuff in there that,
hmm
you have to walk it off sometimes. You just have to, stop. Or if it's going well, keep going. Like, keep it going. Get that into your brain. I'm capable of this. Oh wow, this is really happening. But as far as letdowns, I'm pretty easygoing about that stuff. I don't generally get too excited about it that I can remember. I can remember many times I've shot 59X, like Vegas X, and missed my last target. Missed my last one. Uh, quite a few. I've shot a few. I've shot quite a few 60s back in the day on the 5 spot target, which is the same size bull, or same size X. Yeah, I've shot lots of 58s and 59s over the years. And I guess I don't think much about the bad stuff. I try and oh, there it's gone. Oh well, move along. Let's go. No one gets hurt. Nobody loses their job. Keep going, and yeah, and enjoy it. And it makes a big difference to just look for the positive. I like the letdown part. We have to work on Valerie for letting her bow down, though. We're going to have to work on that because you have to sometimes. You absolutely have to. If you're listening, Val, I know you are. Yeah, you'll have to let it down sometimes. It's a good attitude to have. No, I'm going to shoot this, but if it breaks down and you're going to be terrible, let it down. Let's do this again. Reset.
That's a good note to leave it on.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Thanks for being on,
Hey,
Chris. That was
been
great.
great. Thanks for having me on. And
Yeah.
if everyone gets a chance, we don't have the date yet, but it's right around Valentine's Day, right around second week in February that we have our breast cancer shoot. So please come on out. If you can't make it out, if you just want to come out and see what it's about, you can show up. There's food there. There's raffle prizes. If you're not interested in competing, that's perfectly fine also. But there's lots of other stuff going on there, and just to feel what the room is like and what the shop is like that day, I think it's pretty special. It's become pretty easy for me. We have such good people in place. The girls that run the table, and my wife and daughter that ran the food last year, and the boys set up the range. They have it set. I went downstairs to take it down at the end of the shoot. It was already taken down and stacked up. I'm like, wow, this stuff happens on autopilot anymore. And it's such a good community and group of people to have out. And I hope the listeners can come out and support us. I'll have it posted up. We'll have it posted up in the next month or so to when we're going to have it. And yeah, if you can support us, or if you can't support us, support one of the shooters that are coming, and they gladly bring your donation in. Or we'll also have the button posted up, and we do have a Facebook page, Canadian Archers for a Cause, and we'll have that all posted up. So if you just want to donate, feel free to. Or if you have a product that you want to donate, we're also glad to accommodate that too. And
Definitely.
Well,
Well, we'll do our part to help you advertise that when we get closer.
would appreciate it.
Maybe we'll have you guys on again, or have a group of you guys on.
Yeah,
just to talk
we
about
could work that
some
out,
of the
or
memories.
we could chat at the shoot if you want to. It's a pretty busy day.
Yeah,
We're
perfect.
putting out little fires here and there, but maybe an off the record one at the dinner afterwards. And
There you go. Awesome.
All
right, thanks, Chris.
Thank you. I can't wait to take you shooting
Thanks
field,
so
Justin.
much. I'm coming.
Yeah,
So
I'm pumped to shoot field. It's going to be an absolute blast.
You'll love it. You will. You'll be like, yeah. So good. Thanks for having me, gentlemen. I really appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you, sir, for coming on.
Alrighty.
All right.